I'm Ben Fisher, Design Director on SkySaga, and you're watching Eurogamer.
What's up gamers, Ian Higton from Eurogamer here, and this is the wonderfully colourful world of SkySaga Infinite Isles, an upcoming free-to-play adventure game for the PC. At first glance, SkySaga might look more than a little like Minecraft, but dig deeper and you'll see that it's actually a rather different gaming experience altogether. Here's Ben Fisher from developer Radiant Worlds to share his infinite wisdom with you.
SkySaga is a procedurally generated action-adventure game with some MMO elements. It combines having a safe home that you can customise and connect with your friends, connect socially, with procedurally generated adventures where you can explore into the unknown and discover treasures. It's a PC game, it's free to play. We want to make sure that the free-to-play mechanics of the game don't compromise the fact that it's a creative space and that we want people to share and collaborate creatively. So players will have the opportunity to spend money to progress more quickly or buy cosmetic items, but everyone has the space to have fun and to construct a unique experience and share it with other people. There's two halves to the game. There's the adventuring side and there's the crafting side. On the crafting side of things, we wanted to make sure that players had a safe space that they could build and explore the options available in the game. So there's an elaborate crafting system where players can use any material to craft any recipe they find. They can build tools with unique properties based on the materials used to make those tools. They can also customise their home so that it's aesthetically pleasing and that they can invite other people to come and customise their home with them or just hang out. So as well as the crafting and creative side of the game, there's the adventuring side of the game. We use a system we call the Adventure Director to procedurally generate environments that are different every time, that are guaranteed to have a main flow of adventure that the player can follow. We usually find that there's 20 to 40 minutes of adventure in each slice of procedurally generated location. So the player starts off in an open location and then they can just follow what interests them the most. They can go fishing if they want, they can push towards the coolest looking things in the environment. So they might find something like a castle, and as they head towards that castle they discover the castle has a dungeon, and the dungeon has a cave, and the cave has a Balrog or whatever. The player can follow that thread all the way through to the end of the adventure, find the coolest resources available and use them to progress their way through the game.
So all these infinite isles then, how big are they? Are they infinite worlds like the PC version of Minecraft, or have you had to create smaller, finite worlds?
Each world in the game is a sort of a great big 2 million voxel doughy cube that we can squash or stretch depending on the shape of the adventure or the shape of the home that we want to give you. So every player has that home island space to customise as they see fit. Each adventure is a finite space, but intentionally so that we can guarantee us a 20 to 40 minute exciting open world and then dungeon experience. A good point of reference is something like Wind Waker or like a miniature Skyrim, where you have a bit of an explorer in an open world and then push towards a goal. So you always return to your home and you always push into the unknown and always return and always push into the unknown.
Bite-sized adventures sound great, especially when the contents of the worlds will be unpredictable. I really do like the idea of stepping into the unknown every time I leave my home world. But how does that actually work? What allows us to travel to and from these infinite isles? How do we earn and access our adventures?
Each time the player goes on an adventure, they'll uncover valuable treasures. Some of these valuable treasures can be combined to make keystones. Keystones are used to push into these new adventures. So as the player pushes deeper into the game and faces the greatest threats, they will also find a reward in that they can go into new locations that no one's been before. We also want to encourage players to work as teams and push into particularly hard locations, so that if you want to get to the scariest, darkest, frosty mountain, you have to prepare yourself with furs, push into the dark and find those components that allow you to build the next link along the chain. In most cases, players will find components of keystones and it will set these keystones to cook and prepare for tomorrow. hero's adventure. So the idea is that each time you adventure, you find a reward, and that reward is the next adventure.
The idea that players will be able to collaborate on adventures is an intriguing one. Can you tell us more about what you have in store for those who like to take a buddy or two with them on their expeditions?
An upcoming feature that's not here yet, but planned for the future, is the ability to collaborate as part of a guild. So let's say you decided that what you wanted to do is find a unique, very, very rare material and make the best armour found in the game from that material. You could work together as a team to build a home that you work from as a group. You head into the unknown to find those materials and you bring them back, and your guild becomes known for that particular trait. So what we hope players will do is balance out each other's skill sets and group to play parts of the game that are played best as a team. When you build your guild island, you build it in a way that means that it's everybody's home.
So guilds are coming later, but multiplayer will be present from very early on. Not only in the adventuring, but also in special PvP matches where adventurers can go head to head against each other in various game modes. Tell us more, Ben Fisher.
So SkySaga also has PvP. We procedurally generate the worlds for PvP in the same way as we do the adventures, and we do the same adventure director system that brings in the principles of level design so that the PvP layout has everything you'd expect from a handcrafted PvP arena. Players can customize and edit that arena just like they can any other world. So as an example, if you have Capture the Flag as a game mode, you'd start with 2 bases and you'd have a no man's land of floating islands in between. That means in order to win the game, players have to build bridges across to one another. So the game becomes a balance of achieving the objective and customizing the world that you're playing in. Another thing that we want to make sure we let the player do is express their creativity in PvP, and the way that we do that is we let people bring whichever gear they've crafted for the main adventure. So looking down the line, I see it as a legitimate strategy to arrive at PvP with a fishing rod and bear traps and pull people into bear traps. If you think it's really cool to mine quickly and build TNT or whatever, you could bring that with you and decide that your specialty in that PvP match is to dig tunnels and customize the landscape, while the more heavily armed members of your team drag the flag back.
Ben Fisher likes fishing and using fishing rods as weapons? Coincidence? I think not. So then, SkySaga is much more than the Minecraft clone it looks to be at first glance. Infinite adventures full of lovely loot and customisable multiplayer arenas are all ideas that get my imagination flowing with possibilities for emergent gameplay experiences. And Radiant Worlds have promised that as the game lives online, it will always be updated with new content to keep the joy of discovery fresh and exciting. It's a bold promise though, and one that could fall flat on its face if the optional microtransactions turn out to be necessary ingredients for full-on adventures. Still, at the moment, the concept is intriguing enough for the game to be firmly on my radar, so I'll update you all with news on the game once it goes into the public alpha phase. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for an infinite saga of gaming videos, or I'll be sad. You see, because Isle, like islands, but shorter, you know, like SkySaga Infinite Isles? Nah. Goodbye.